Hello and welcome. It is the 15th day of January 2021. The current time is 7:53 p.m. Eastern. As of the recording of this video, all bets, trades, and of the like, well, that most certainly within each his own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk-reward management is always job number one. Let's go over Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin, Theta, Hedera hash graph, Tezos. So within that BTCD, Bitcoin dominance amongst the just the long term, back before 2017, this thing was all Bitcoin, like 97% dominant, whatnot. The big crypto year, if you will. Seen how like the altcoins were twice or 2-to-1 ratio maybe, with the value of the market cap. Bitcoin had like a third of it. Now it's got like 2/3 of it. It's been just crazy. One coin is worth 2/3 more than all the other ones. Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and all the other ones. I even think Tether. I don't know how the Tether works within it. I'm not sure how it's calculated within dominance. To me, it shouldn't count, but it is what it is. But as it goes in here, it's been obviously in the up run. It's been the up run since down in September. Up run from this low in here. It's also been way up from this low and way up, way down still from this low. So it's still got, okay, how are we going to decide? We're going to have a big move that's all Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin going to lose major dominance? Question mark. We'll find the answers to those in time. But amongst a single 4-hour term time frame, rather, this is the spot where Bitcoin, with the dominance hitting it with the top on January the 3rd, has this major move down. Then it rallies up to a lower high, matching low. Lower high, matching low. And now I see it congesting for like 3, 4, 5 periods in here. Is this telling us that this is ready for a down move? I don't know, but I would have to say I think this is more set up to go down right now than just to go up, and that should mean altcoins overperforming Bitcoin. And it really can only mean just that because of the mathematics on it. But with that being said, let's move on to actual Bitcoin itself against the dollar. I've been talking about these Fibonacci lines in here yesterday, being able to get above this level. And having a good break above it and a decent amount of time, but not able to support amongst this point, and piercing less rather, on this level of support. But as I stated yesterday, you can easily have that, and it did have that correctionary move. Important to have a higher low. Now you can talk about retracement from this low to this high, which is very important short-term analysis, I would think. And it can still resist this point. We can still show that this is a failed move, and you can see that more clearly when you're looking at things on the hourly term time frame. Because just like I stated, okay, it's important to have a higher low to this. Well, now that we've had this rally, it's going to be important to have a higher low to the one that just was established. So it's going to be extremely even more short term. If you think we've had like 5, 6 green periods in a row, maybe you have 2 or 3, come back to where you come from. It's fine to come back to 36 or barely below, but it's still, if it's able to get above this, it still has this great, fantastic, bullish setup in here. The excitation of the 18, if this goes, it would just be a fantastic thing. Theta is next. And in looking at it against Bitcoin and on the daily term time frame, this is like day number 5 right now of congesting amongst this key Fibonacci point. I talked about it yesterday within this failed breakdown that occurred. And since that point, it had a very nice little rally up to here, and this just hanging in there. No real big attempt to break out until just a few hours ago. And now it's looking like this might be the potential of a failed breakout as it has now come back down. But it is at this majorly tested level of support that hasn't tested in many periods, and after it had a significant move to get there. If that area fails, we'll be looking at support down towards 5,200 as this next area, and then the 46 is just a monster level. And the level of resistance, this was tested days ago. It had an attempt to get there. That's where it'd go to if it can regain and such. But as it goes right now, overall, Theta has just done phenomenal long term with long term over the last several months. In a world where Bitcoin has been just crushing the dollar, many coins are getting their asses kicked against Bitcoin. And Tezos, the next chart, against Bitcoin, it's not doing so well. It's not that it's Tezos losing its value, it's Bitcoin making tremendous value. On the daily term time frame, though, we can see it attempting to get this thing going again. Had a nice little attempt around U.S. Thanksgiving, but obviously that one failed. And this is I mean, it's just barely showing that it's just barely announcing or barely saying, hey, I'm going to try to do this thing over. So it's at the mode of announcing its statement on the daily term time frame. On the 4-hour term, it has had, this is an interesting situation. A lot of green candles up in a row, practically all of them. This is a sideways one. But you can say these are sideways too, but you can see on the 7-hour stamp on today's session today how it came up to this high, pulled back. Right now, it's back near it. But we look at this on the single hour, this is where it gets really, really interesting because we've had this great run up here. This is the 8 o'clock, it comes up, back down the 18 average of highs. And now we can see just even in here, like a lot of volatile periods before. This thing tried to break out the previous hour, but it looks like it's doing so on this one here. So to me, a fantastic setup, 15-minute, I think just the same as well. Now, Hadara hash graph is the exact same thing. It's got a tremendous setup as well. On the 15-minute term time frame, a lot of higher lows and higher highs. It's made a really big higher on this most previous one that it's on right now. And we take a look at this on the single hour term. A major support has been established in here, but an attempt to regain this amazing uptrend in here. Well, attempted here, not so quite. Now it's looking to do so again with this, what is now a third test in this area. It had 3 different periods that tested this high the last time. This is the first period now with 7 seconds to go in the hour. It is 7:59 p.m. Eastern now as I'm doing this video. On the 4-hour term time frame, just a fantastic setup, I believe, as well. We come up, we hit this level of resistance on monstrously good correctionary phase, supporting this previous level of resistance and doing so within the 18 average. And then this little spot in here where it's leaving the 18, showing strength on the highs, then it retests previous high, makes a higher low, and then again coming back to where it came from. Retest previous high again, retest previous low, and now we're retesting previous high again. This thing looks to me like at an either-or situation that's either going to break out now in the next moments or so, or maybe it could just even do a higher low and do something like that as well too. That would just make the setup look fantastic. If it were to go down a bit and then start to go up, it'd be like, oh my, okay, yeah, probability odds high that it's going to be going high and all that kind of stuff. Daily term, very bullish, I think, as well. When we can see in here this big move, look to attempt to revert the trend. Coming back and all of this strength, what we're seeing, and still showing strength amongst the 18 average of highs, but it's also showing, it's a combination of two things. Showing strength at the highs, but I mean, it's really not even touching it. It's kind of attempting to break out above this thing. And I think this thing is live for fantastic gains, whether it will or will not. I thought last night Theta was live for fantastic gains. It didn't happen today, so it doesn't mean it will, but I do think the probabilities are live for such. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.